Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Ropin Ranch channel. I'm Red Lilac 78, or as most of you guys know me is Red. I am the creator of ropinranch.com, which is an online web game where you can breed and train horses, goats, cattle, and poultry. And soon we will be adding multiple different species into the game, and we would love to see you there. On top of that, I love doing streams here where I play Sims, Minecraft, Star Stable, and lots of others. So thank you again for visiting my channel, and let's jump into the video for the day.
Hello everybody! This is going to be a small tutorial video on most of the frequently asked questions that I get during streaming. I am Red and I love doing a bunch of streaming over Minecraft, specifically SWEM, and a lot of the times during my streams I get questions such as, how do I play SWEM? How do I download CurseForge? How do I get custom coats? And what is the SWEM Addendum? A lot of times this is something that's very hard for me to be able to tell you guys about while I am streaming because I can't send you links. So this is a video so that you guys can now get all that information from one of my videos and we can hop right into it. If you are here because you are trying to learn that kind of stuff and you would like to drop a subscription, I would love that. I'm also an aspiring developer with a game like you would have seen in my intro, and it is called ropinranch.com. So if you turn out to like my content, definitely check out Ropin Ranch. And with that, let's jump in to the first part of the video. What is CurseForge and how do I download it? So the first thing that I am going to show you guys is where you can download CurseForge. All I did was literally look up CurseForge download, and it is this first link right here with this little icon that is the orange little forging icon, and you're just going to go ahead and download that standalone, and you'll follow the instructions for the download. Once you have gotten it downloaded, you will be then moved over to CurseForge, the app, which will look something like this. Now, quickly, why you're going to need CurseForge for SWEM. Since SWEM is a download and it is an actual mod, you're going to need an app like CurseForge, which is a tool that helps you install all of those add-ons safely and make sure that everything works together. Without it, the game doesn't know how to use SWEM. Why SWEM doesn't work on Bedrock is because there's two versions of Minecraft. Java Edition is the one that works on computers, where Bedrock is going to be for console, phone, and some PC versions like the Realms use it, but SWEM is made out of a code using Java, which is only working in the Java edition of Minecraft. Since Bedrock uses different systems, it's kind of like trying to play like a PlayStation game into an Xbox. It won't work. They will not be compatible. There is no way that you can play SWEM without the Java Minecraft. Now that you have CurseForge downloaded, I'm going to show you the easiest way that you can get SWEM to start working. First thing I'm going to say is up here, once you have Minecraft selected on the left-hand side and you've logged in, because it is going to ask you to log in and verify your account, you're going to go ahead and type in star worm in the search. It's going to bring up this one that says upgrading horses, and you're going to click install. It's going to ask you, where do you want to install this? And since obviously I already have some of these are called profiles, then I can install it to there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and show you what you're going to do, which you're going to hit new profile. It's going to automatically tell you the newest version of Minecraft that it can use. But for this example, and if you want to have custom coats, you need to be using the 1.20 version. Once you've done that, you're going to type in a name for it, and you're going to hit create. It's going to start doing all of this loading, all of this fun stuff, and it's going to start loading in all of the stuff that's needed for that. For SWEM specifically, you're also going to need some add-on mods that are going to actually make the whole thing work. If you go ahead and you do it this way, you're going to have to notice that it will automatically install those things that you needed. I would suggest from here, you're going to hit add content, type in Starworm again, and you can install the other parts of the mod, which are going to be the decor, the lighting. This is going to be for any multiplayer tools that you end up wanting to do. This is an economy and marketplace, and this is going to be colorful cows that produce paint for bulk dyeing. That's pretty simple. It says it right there. The other thing that you should be doing is going on and looking at something called the SWEM Addendum. You don't need the SWEM Addendum, but for this example, I'm downloading it now, and when we get to that part of the video, you will need it if you plan on using it. So we're going to go ahead and install that now. From here, we're going to go ahead and load into Minecraft. Okay. So we have now loaded into here. First thing I'm going to do, because oh my gosh, why is Minecraft always so loud? I'm going to bring my music down. We're going to go ahead and get a new world started. And for the heck of it, I'm going to make sure that I do have creative mode established. That way I can get the eggs and show you what I'm talking about right when I load in. If my computer doesn't crash. There we go. Thank you. We're going to go on peaceful. Now, SWEM comes with a good amount of coats already from the get-go. So whenever you do load in and you do get a horse or find horses around in your world, because they will spawn automatically for you. So right now we're in like this area and oh look, horses. So if you notice, these horses have already spawned. They already have coats. You can play the game like this with no problem whatsoever, and you automatically have horses. Now, it's also going to spawn regular horses. You're going to still have them. They're still going to be there. They can be your best friend. Retire them in the pasture with them. But you will have a list of all of these different horse breeds or colors. And if you look them up online, you will find a list of the ones that come from the download. But there's a lot of people that are now selling and distributing a lot of other coats that you can get. So, for the heck of it, I'm going to show you how to do that. To start off, I would like to note that there's two different types of coats. There is going to be the legacy coats, and there's going to be the addendum coats. And we are going to build a little area right here to show you the difference. Ta-da! And we're going to look up SWEM. Okay. Here is a normal SWEM. Nay. Next, I'm going to show you how to download extra things. Okay, so now we are sitting here in the Minecraft, or in the Discord server for SWEM. When you're in the Starworm Equestrian mod Discord server, if you come down to custom content, there's an entire board that you can look through. I'm using this for the sake of just the easiness of finding it, but you can just start Googling and finding things. A lot of it is going to be through Ko-Fi, and so as I'm going through these, you will notice that a lot of this is in Ko-Fi already. So I'm going to open a few pages in a web browser of some different ideas and things that I want to use. So I'm scrolling all the way up, finding like the original post, because a lot of the times in these original posts, nope, I want to jump all the way up and see if I can find the original link. I can't, never mind, we'll move on to a different one. Custom coats, right here. Here's a Ko-Fi page. Or let me look at this one, custom coats, Ko-Fi page. Or let's even look at this one, custom coats. That looks like the Ko-Fi page. We're gonna click this, visit site, and I'm just gonna open a few of them up so we can look through them all and make sure that I can show you guys a little bit of everything. Oh, I know Andre is a good one. I've downloaded from them. I don't know if it's same thing. Ooh, look at those wings. Those are cool. We've got some more coats in here in Ko-Fi. This one looks pretty cool. Looking for a Ko-Fi link. There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and switch over to the website. Here I have opened up a page with Wild Fleurs, which is a very, very known person who does like these kind of coats. She has a few in here that are legacy, and so I wanted to go ahead and use her as an example for our first part, which is about the legacy stuff. So here's one. It's a legacy coat. It says legacy. Literally, where did it say it? Right here. Legacy. Tells you to place it in the specific folder. Some places won't do it though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put $0, get it now, check out, make sure you are logged in. You're going to almost always have to be logged in to do so. It's going to download a zip file. I'm going to look for a few other ones just for this purpose, because I also like shopping anyways. Let's go ahead and grab strawberry while we're at it. So we'll have two of them. We'll have strawberry, and then we'll have one more. And I mean, it does run through a checkout now. Some people do get scared over this kind of aspect. And so please make sure that if you are a young person doing this, that you have the ability to make an account for Ko-Fi, and that you know that you're not buying things from people and actually spending money unless you're allowed to. We've now gotten those downloaded onto my computer, and I'm going to now show you the next step on how to actually get these into your game. The first next step you're going to want to do is you want to make sure that you actually have the folder open. So you're going to click on the three dots on the profile that you have created, and you are going to hit open folder. Okay, so this is the window that it should take you into, which is going to be CurseForge, Minecraft, instances, your instance's name. The config is where we're going to be wanting to go. So this is where you're going to see immediately. You're going to go into config. You're going to go into SWEM, and you're going to go into community packs. This should be empty. Now what I'm going to do is in my download, I want you guys to see this too, because this is very important. This is what we downloaded. It was a zip file. If you go and extract this, we now have two. You see how it has one and then it opens into this? You actually will want to take that fauna that's extracted like this, and that is what you want to have in here. Like this. If the folder does not go straight into these two, it will not work. It has to go from here to JSONs and textures, which can go into coats and more, and textures, coats, legacy, and the PNG. So that's the number one issue that I see a lot of people doing, is that they don't do that. Another thing is this is a community pack. So this folder right here, I downloaded off of a website. It's got multiple coats all in here. And you've got all of the JSON and all of the textures as well. So this is a pack, and this is just a single coat. There's also, community coats that you can get off of other accounts as well. So in the example, we're going to take this one over. We're going to go ahead and extract it, and I'm going to move just strawberry in here and delete these guys. So now we've got strawberry, we've got a pack, and we've got fauna. So now I'm going to go ahead and reopen Minecraft. Okay, so welcome back to Minecraft. And what I'm going to show you is the command. And this is the way that you can also check. So you're going to do SWEM, summon, legacy, and all of a sudden you're going to see all of those things. So here's the fauna. Or we can do one of these black horses from the pack that I was talking about. Or there's the strawberry. And then this is also how, if you are playing the game just normally and you wanted to spawn one of the regular SWEM horses, you could do one of the regular SWEM horses. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put this guy. Come on, buddy. You belong in here. Because this is a downloaded legacy coat, where this one came with the pack. So you'll notice they look exactly the same. Now, if you are not noticing it in here, if you have, let's say, a name of a pack folder and it is not showing up in here, it did not load in. And, you know, that might be because maybe that pack doesn't work correctly. You might have files that aren't working. I actually tried to download the community pack that is straight from the... I tried to download the community pack from the SWEM server. And for some reason, I couldn't get it to log into this world, but I could get it to log into my world that I already use. So that world had it perfectly fine. Like no issue whatsoever. Also, here's a Pegasus. Because why not? But the next thing that I do want to show you guys, since I totally got distracted there, I'm so sorry, is now the difference between that and an addendum coat. So the first place I'm actually going to tell you to go is back to your Curse Forge. I'm going to have you go in. This is going to be a lot more tricky, by the way, but if you go to the SWEM addendum here as the mod, and then you click on this Wikipedia page, it's going to take you to the internet. Now, for some reason, when you go to this website, you're always going to get this error. I don't know why, but hit proceed anyways. Now you are on the addendum. The addendum is not owned, I don't believe, by Peachy, but Peachy very much is a huge helper in making this work, and she kind of sponsors the entire thing. The addendum allows you to now have custom models and coats. What that means is if you go and you watch her videos, it'll explain a little bit more of that. But what I will tell you to do, scroll down and you're going to download this template zip that they have. Once you've done that, stay on the page because we're going to come back to this. So now you're back in here. You're going to go back a directory to SWEM. You're going to go back a directory to config. You're going to go back a directory to whatever your name is. And you're going to go to resource packs. This resource packs is going to be where you have to download this next part of it. So what this means is a lot of the times, you know, when you go and you download the way that something looks on Minecraft. Like a lot of people like to get the Mizunos, and it's a specific resource pack that you have for the game. That resource pack actually changes the way that the game actually looks. So, that being said, we are going to be changing the way that the actual like building blocks of those SWEM models will be looking. So what you're going to do is you're going to drag this template in here. Now, unlike inside of the other folder, this one must stay a zip. So when you open it, you're going to get to assets and you're going to be able to break it down all the way down. Now, I don't know if this is going to be with all computers. With my computer, I can still edit a file inside of here without unzipping it. But if you get to the point where you have to unzip the file to edit the stuff on the inside, when you zip it back up, you must make sure that when you're sitting in here and you open it up from here, the first thing is assets. Sometimes I've seen it where people have it like template. No, it has to be template assets. So these are all of the different horse breeds that they support. So if you go back now to the internet, you can now go find different horses based on that information. So let's tab back over to the internet. Okay, so now we are back on the page where we're seeing more horses that we can look for. The situation that we now will run into, because you're dealing with addendum, is a few different things. And the way that I want to explain this is going to try to be the least confusing that I can. Let's say you have a phone and it is let's for better explanation, you have an iPhone 15 and you go and you buy a case for an iPhone 16. It's not going to fit on your iPhone 15. Let's say you go buy an iPhone 14 case. It's not going to fit on your iPhone 15 case. There's a little bit of a difference. There's a small difference, but there's still a difference. So, the addendum mod comes with pre-built different Frisian or different horse breeds. So, for example, it has its own Frisian. But then there's been other players throughout the years, or throughout the time that this has all come out, where they are now making their own custom models. The two that you're going to see that come up the most is Lissa and Ashira. Ashira has hers available. It modifies these specific right here. And then Lissa's will contain these. The thing about this is that the two of them will override each other. So if you download Ashira's that does the Breton, the Warm Blood, the Arabian, the Frisian, and then you download this one, which does the Frisian, the Arabian, they're going to contradict. And one of them is going to win and one of them's not going to win. And so if you're downloading something that says that it's specifically built for the Equestrian model, but you have the Lissa breeds pack downloaded, it will not work. Same way if you have a Lissa, or if you want to be downloading the Ashira one, which was this one, and you have the Lissa one uploaded, it will not work. In the same sense that if you do not download either the Lissa or the Equestrian model, then you will not be able to get anything that says Lissa or Equestrian. So for example, I'm looking at this one and I have to read through it because sometimes you won't notice it. To use this coat, use the Lissa. Ashira. So if you do not read correctly, you might not actually get the correct thing. And let me show you what happens in game when you download something. So for example, I have gone ahead and I have downloaded the Benito. I have downloaded Benito already, and it is being used on the Lissa Realistic Frisian model. Let's go open Minecraft. Okay, so we are now back to Minecraft, and I told you guys to remember to keep that page open that had the information for the SWEM addendum that was originally from Peachy's URL or website. The reason being is you have to have those specific commands to have these horses. Now, on the legacy coats, you will get them randomly. Like, they are able to spawn, they are able to breed. Though the information for its spawning or breeding is all within the JSON file. And so you'll have the ability to change it. Like the developer or the creator of that coat might have said, hey, I really don't want this to be found in the wild, or hey, I don't want this to be breedable. So they will disable it, but you can enable it from your end. As for these guys, The only way that these guys can be added in is literally this giant, lovely summon command, which is found on the website. And then what you're going to do is you're going to change that texture name with the name of the file that you have now downloaded. So for example, with this, I got to go back to that section, resource packs, templates, assets, templates, Frisian. Its name is Axo Benito. Okay. Well, that just looks strange. Why does it not have eyes? Why does it look so weird? Well, that is because you have to make sure that you go into options, resource packs, and you do enable your template. If you do not, then you'll have an issue. Now remember, it also, though, was using Lissa's real horse template. So even though we're about to load in, and even though we are now seeing half of the horse, Lissa's template has a different change in the way that the neck and in the way that the tail work. And so since we don't have that downloaded, we will miss parts of the horse because we don't have that specific base downloaded. So now I'm going to go ahead and go download that Lissa template and show you how that goes and where things go for there. So now I'm back here in the same folder as my resource packs, and I've placed in Lissa's realistic breeding packs here, which has all of the other information buried into here. And then in my template, you'll notice that in the Frisian, that's where Benito is living. So that should allow me now to be able to see Benito in his complete beauty. And then back over here in Minecraft, make sure that you do enable your Lissa's Realistic Breeds pack. And then when you hit done, da-da-da-da, there's Benito in his full beauty. Now, I don't think that these guys can breed. I have noticed that every single time I try to breed them, that it always results in like very, very messed up babies. And I don't know if that's just because I have been unable to figure out how to do that yet. I wish that I was able to breed these. But these guys are mostly just, I believe, for decoration and for the fun of it. So that one is a male. And then something you can do in here is you can get the vet bag. And so that one was a male. So you can definitely notice the difference in what these bases look like. This base is definitely bigger and looks much, much different. I believe they can get pregnant. And they do show the percentage of them growing. So it takes about 30 minutes for them to grow. That's going to be the default for like a single player. You can change that in configs. But I'm pretty sure that this baby would not come out as an actual like horse. Because they just don't. So to conclude the tutorial, we've got the realistic bases in here. Come here. Get in here, Benito. In. We got the realistic in here, which is based off of specific breeds. We've got a community legacy coat that uses the same SWEM base as normal. And we've got a SWEM base coat that came with the actual project. So, it gets very complicated. Feel free to join my Discord server if you need any help or if you have any questions. But also make sure that there is a whole entire Discord server dedicated to the Addendum, and that would be in Peachy's server. So I just thought I would make a video, though, because every single time I stream, the questions I get are always about how. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you guys subscribed, that would be amazing. And if you guys do end up checking out Ropin Ranch, please make sure you can also join our Discord there for that. But it is my passion project, and I am only a streamer and a gamer on the side because Ropin Ranch gets my full focus. So I hope you have a lovely day. Take care, and bye!